Hey guys, it's Victor from SPO Consulting. In this video, we're going to cover something that is highly desired by small businesses across the globe. So we're talking about the Google Map Pack, and in this video, I will cover what it is, how you can achieve that ranking for your local business, and what type of methods you might want to try so that you can outrank all of your local competitors as well. So let's get right into it. I'm going to switch over to my computer so that we can begin. Okay, so if you are still not sure entirely what is this Google Map Pack everybody speaks about, it's basically this top result here, or this map section result that you get once you do some sort of a service area search or some sort of a contractor service like this one. So again, for this video, we're focused on fence installation. We're going to use our test site here for Dallas, and this is basically what you get. This is the map pack for this search term. So of course it is a very highly commercial and very popular query to type in if you look for a fence contractor in this area, which is kind of shown by the amount of ads that are placed on there, as well as that ad right here. So if you weren't aware, this is pretty much just it. It shows you a visual representation of the businesses nearby. So you don't need to have a specific location to show up here. It can be a service area listing that shows up for search terms like this. Alright, so you want to go over to your GMB or Google My Business dashboard, and of course you sign in there at business.google.com. And once you're at your dashboard, this is really where a lot of the magic really begins. So of course you do need a Google My Business. It doesn't have to be a pin on the map. It can be set in there as a service area business. So if you're a little bit confused as to the service area business, let me just go over here, because where you can typically put in your address, you can actually just go ahead and delete that and instead use your service areas right here. So when I created this Google My Business listing, when I was first filing it so that it can be verified, it asked, since I didn't have an address, it goes ahead and asks you what areas you do business in. So this one being focused on Dallas, of course, that's the first one I picked out. But as you can see, there are some additional ones, and I actually carefully went through and picked out some really good areas. They're basically like little neighborhoods. I like to call them subsections on the map, because if you've actually gone through Google Maps, you'll realize that they like to put little labels on different areas. And oftentimes I've actually found that it might even label an area because of a major road. And that really, the best way to explain that is because if there is content out there that is very focused on a specific neighborhood, like let's say some realtors are putting some listings out there and they're using some sort of a name like this as a reference, then Google starts to associate that as a different area of the city. So it's important to check these out right here, because you can grab any one of them that show up and you can insert them onto your list of service areas, just so that you can target a little bit more deeper into certain locations. Of course, depending on how well you know the city, you probably know where all the residential areas are at, or what areas make the most sense for you to target. But you want to grab that list of them and put them in here. Don't go overboard on this, so it does kind of raise your spam score if you are filling this up with every location you can. Just get a little bit strategic with this. Using less than more is obviously much safer. And also know that once you set these, it is definitely not recommended for you to come back here and mess with them. It is depending on the climate for Google My Business and what Google is doing. It might be very, very dangerous to make a major change to your listing, because if it is considered too spammy, let's say your website is already it already has a high spam score and your whole listing has a high spam score. If you push anything too much and you make a major change, it will get automatically suspended. So be careful with making changes like this unless you're pushing changes out using some sort of API or software or service. Make sure that you have your correct business hours. So you should have business hours every day. If you're closed on weekends, that's fine, but make sure that there are hours inserted, because if there aren't, then it's really not going to show your listing anywhere, since it would always be closed. It doesn't really make sense to point any consumers over to your business during a time that it would be closed. So keep that in mind. Make sure that this is up to date. You can always come in here periodically and add some special hours if you'd like to. Most people really tend to ignore that anyways. The correct business number. So this does have to be a local phone number. If you're getting a business, like a separate line for your business, make sure that it's local and that it matches with what everybody nearby is using. Short name. We don't like to use short name. This does change up the structure of the link. The Google My Business short URLs, some of the URLs, they basically change up significantly if you add a short name. So far we don't like using the short name. That is the one step we like to skip. Of course, your website has to be in there. It must be the one website you're using for your business, or if you have a side of it that is focused on, let's say, fence installations, then you could put that domain in here. But definitely don't try to use multiple websites for your one business, because that really doesn't make sense in the eyes of Google. They like one business address, one GMB, one address, one local phone number. And there are strategies to use multiple GMBs if you're able to acquire more than one, but you can still do all of that with the same one website. So there's no need to get multiple websites like some people used to do to target different things. So there are some optional links you could do, appointment links, any products. The products aren't really going to relate here if you're doing a service area business, but you do want to make sure that services are added as well. They have not been added to this listing here, so I can do that later. I just have avoided this for a very specific reason, and if I go ahead and add that now, it may actually get deleted because that is a very large change. So the last and a very, very important section is the description. So this description section, as you can see here by the character count, it is pretty much filled up all the way, and that's how you should do it. Don't miss out on the opportunity to describe your business to your consumers, as well as try to fit some nice keywords in there that match with what you're trying to target. Now head over to photos. You do want plenty of pictures in here, and every so often, every week, every 2 weeks, the frequency is really going to depend on your area. So if you see that your competitors are all posting very, very frequently, then you should consider posting frequently as well, just so that Google sees that you're putting in that effort as the business owner. But definitely have that logo cover. If you've got any specific pictures of like the inside, if you've got a location, then post those. If not, it's fine. If you've got any videos, same deal. Go ahead and upload everything you've got, just so that customers can see what's going on here. And similarly, this also applies to the Google My Business posts, which of course you can go over to the posts section and do one of these posts for various reasons, whether you have an event, you have something to update, you have an offer, you have a new product, or you just kind of want to put a general message out there for the given week. You can do so from this section. Now, we know that this is no longer as effective as it used to be, and plenty of businesses really do spam this method or this section. And sure, you can put some relevant links in there if you've got something like, let's say, your social media profiles and you want to start sharing those out there. That would be a great idea for the posts, but definitely don't spend too much time with the Google My Business posts, because they're definitely not as strong as they used to be. Plenty of people were trying to use them for, different citation building uses, but they definitely pushed it to the edge. So the last thing inside your Google My Business dashboard that I want to mention, that a lot of people miss out on this opportunity. So Google does allow you to make a free Google My Business website. This website is connected to your Google My Business, and let me just talk a little bit about it. Obviously, it's super simple. The settings that you have to mess with are very minimal, really just switching up the theme, and it automatically populates all of your reviews, your pictures, your posts that you've uploaded, as well as a visual of your different service areas that you've chosen out, and your different business info. Also, click to call buttons and everything. So what's missing here is actually just go over to the text edit, and here's where you can do a headline, description. Let's do something like that, and then another summary header, because there is a summary section that's not on here until you actually add it. So let's just do something generic. Okay, so now that I've filled it out, and you can actually fill this out even more so than I've done so far, I just wanted to put something in there as an example, because let's say you now want to go ahead and link some relevant things over, so you can go ahead and place your homepage link right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that website URL, place it in there. And you can do the same thing. You can hyperlink to maybe other pages that you think are relevant for what you're trying to target. And you can also go ahead and link your Google My Business listing itself. So let's say we go over to, here's our listing here, so we can hit the share button, grab that link, go back here, place it somewhere that makes sense. Obviously, you don't want to link like this on the same exact words multiple times. You want to do it on different words, and you want to make it look not so obvious that you're trying to just link things like crazy in here. But once you do that, go ahead and hit the check mark so that it is actually saved. Then you get a nice overview of this. So as you can see, there's plenty more space that it allows you to place content here for. And you can go ahead and link anything else that you think is important for your business, any social profiles that you might have, your Yelp, Home Advisor links can go in there, as well as just the name, address, and phone number that you might be using for this business. And once you're done, you don't have to buy a domain from Google. You can just go ahead and publish on their free business.site that they allow you, which you can see right here. So you're going to want to grab that link and save that, because you can start pointing different things to this as well. You can provide some off-page work to further boost anything that you may have focused on right here in this website. Okay, so now that you've published the GMB site, you've filled out your GMB fully, and you've got everything finished inside here, you're going to want to go back to your website on your home page, of course, and at this point you should already have plenty of written content, plenty of text, not only text but headings, pictures, links to relevant pages, maybe blog posts, but we like to go somewhere towards the bottom of the page where it's not too intrusive. We like to go ahead and embed the GMB right here. Somewhere on the page it should be embedded, so of course you can grab that from the listing itself and paste that over to your website. Another thing you might want to go ahead and do is a YouTube video to go along with this. So using that same business account, make a YouTube page, optimize that YouTube page similar to how you optimized your Google My Business and filled out all the details. Do the same for your YouTube video, embed that in there. Here, there's 2 more things I want to talk about. Actually, 3 more things, because these are all pretty much important, but you might be looking at this My Maps right here. So you can create your own map using your Google account, and you can also make it public. Now this is a bit of an older method, but if you do want to do the My Maps where you place different points on the map loaded with your business info on it, you can do the same thing where you just embed it. Once you're done, you just embed it on here, but I'm not really going to go too much into that because this is a bit of an older method that some people like to use. So over here towards this section of the text, this is actually very different than the rest of the text on the page because this is purely used for georelevance. So in this section, it's not only content about the area of Dallas, but it also has important links towards different popular places that people like to go to. So if you check what the links are, they're really just other GMB links that I used. And what places did I pick? I really just picked places that are popular along the city, and I spread them out just a little bit, but you might realize here these are driving directions. So why are there driving directions? This is purely the easiest way to place some sort of relevant content, because all of this these are directions from Google Map itself. So this is entirely what it considers to be text that relates to these areas, which is why it's there, and that's why it's linked to it right here as well. But if you have any other ideas for relevant content, you can also go ahead and replace from driving directions to anything that makes sense for you. So the last thing I'll mention on here, and for this video, you also want to do this NAP. This is helpful for verifying your Google My Business as well, because it allows Google to scan your site and very plainly see the most important information that it uses to verify that this is your business website, which would be the name of the business, the address that was used for verification. So whether or not you're a service area business or not, that does not matter. It's this is the address used for verification, and that is the phone number for the business, the same number as the Google My Business. So I also went ahead and created some links in here. This is just for the home page. This is the GMB, and the last one is just a click to call. But these are important just so that Google verifies that this is in fact your business, and it's just making it a little bit more specific and obvious for them. But you want to do this, you want to link all your different social profiles, your different listings together like this, and this would basically just start to create some very, very strong relevance between all of your different accounts within Google. Okay, so basically all of those steps that we've done will fully set you up for what you need to rank on that map pack. Now everything else is going to come down to that continuous off-page work that you provide, not only for your Google My Business listing, but also for your website and any of the different parts that we've created, like in this video, for example, that website off of your GMB and your YouTube account, as well as any videos that you've created off of it too. And this basically shows that even though there's no off-page work for this specific website here, our test website, we still do get shown to people that look for different words regarding fence installations. More commonly over here, the fence builders. That's more so because the name matches very closely as well. So there are people being shown this listing despite any other off-page work being done, just because we've gone ahead and connected everything together and shown that we're relevant in this area and that we deserve to basically just get shown to some more customers. So again, everything else to land up here will just be that off-page work, which you have to continue to keep doing to not only outpace everybody that's up on top first, because a lot of these guys might have thousands of backlinks built up. So you not only have to catch up, but you do have to compete against them and any of their off-page efforts that they're doing as a business or as an agency. So if you've got any questions about anything that I covered today, go ahead and reach out to us wherever you're seeing this video. We can definitely help you out if you're trying to get ranked on that map pack. We do have quite a lot of different top ranks, not just organic ranks, but also those map pack ranks for various home service businesses across the nation. So if you've got any sort of curious questions as to what else you might want to be doing on your off-page work, you can go ahead and send those over. But thank you for watching the whole video, and good luck with your rankings.